This is a message for whomever. Negative emotion is not your enemy. Negative emotion is not a bad thing. This is not what law of attraction is about. This is not what the teachings are about. You don't need to be scared of negative emotion. Negative emotion is your guidance. In fact, negative emotion is actually a good thing. Negative emotion means, oh yes, some aligning work that needs to be done. It's not something to hide away from, because guess what? We're in a place where we're stable now. We're in a place where we're so steadily stable and we're trending in this stability that now when we do feel negative emotion, we feel the pinch of it, and then we realize I have 17 seconds to change it, because when I think a thought for 17 seconds, I have another thought can come and match it if I think that thought for 17 seconds. But now I don't even let it get that big, because now I know this thought, I can change it in the first 17 seconds that I think about it. I can change it. That's my window. But once it passed the 17-second mark, now it gets more enamoring. Now I'm like, oh, now I gotta think it, because law of attraction, that's how law of attraction works. So when I wake up early in the morning, when I just wake up in the morning, and you know, I'm fresh and I'm new, I've slept good, my momentum has reset, then I'm in this place where when the negative thought does come from yesterday, now I'm aware of the 17 seconds. Now I know that, oh, I can change it. Now I have this window to change it. And so guess what I do? I change it, because now we're stable. We understand that we're not here to do work. We're not here to create the reality. We've already created the reality from step one. Life has caused us to desire something from something unwanted, so we know what the wanted is. So it's done. Boom, it went into this vibrational reality, and we have the vibrational version right now. And step 3, because step 2 was source giving it, step 3 was the allowing mode. Step 3 is the allowing mode. Step 3 is being in allowing mode. Step 3 is understanding that I can't be talking smack about that. I can't be assessing where I am, because where I am is invalid. Where I am is irrelevant, because my inner being is not looking at where I am. Where I am is not who I really am. Where I am is where I'm going. Where I am is not important, because where I'm going is more important. And it's really about what my emotions are about. And so there's so much value in feeling good. Do you know that there's so much value in feeling good? That's what we tell you. Just give up on your desire. You can't give up on your desire, because guess what? Haha, you made it big. That desire got real big because you give years of attention to it, and now it's so big. Now it's so big that you don't have a choice. You have to align with it. You have to align with it, because it's like the difference between day and night. You made it big, so now you gotta follow your dreams. You have to follow your dreams, because you thought about them so much that they're so big. You can't forget about them. You can't even go general. So we say just give up. Just give up. We don't say give up on the desire. Hold up. We're not saying give up on the desire. We're saying give up on your attention of where this desire is, the progress of it. Like if you want to learn how to sing, and you're like learning how to sing, and you're like, okay, babe, I have this vision, I understand this vibrational reality, but where I am is like I have such a long way to go. And we're like, stop that, because that will keep you in the same spot forever. Because if everything's already assembled, all of the parts are assembled, the cooperative components are ready, everything is ready for you, your manifestation is ready, it's in vibrational form, and then you have the not even less than 1% job of just being in allowing mode. You can be stuck in that step for lifetimes, forever. And that's what we say, like, you just have to get into this place where you understand that you already have what you want, but it's in a different form. But now it's different, because guess what? I already have it. It's like, here's the thing, right? It's like you're at point A and you want to go to point B, right? So in the we're going to call it the old way for the sake of this conversation, but in the physical human action based goal setting, like I got to pay a price kind of a way, which operates under a false premise, which is if I want to go to point A to point B, I got to walk from point A to point B. I have to undergo an action journey. So that's why you understand. And we don't blame you, because you're so used to looking at a reality. You're so used to observing reality. You're so used to measuring reality. So if I want to go to point A and I want to go to point B, then I gotta walk. There's a physical distance I have to undertake. But we're like, okay, but when you're understanding law, then you start to understand law of attraction, and you really understand the vibrationalness of everything. It's a vibrational world you're living in. It just is, because you can feel negative emotion. It literally proves that you have another part of you out there that you're resonating or off the pitch with. So you want to go from point A to point B, and then we're saying, well, if you want to go from point A to point B, you need to stop looking at point A, because you are already ready for this. You are already at point B. It's like you think you're at point A because you're looking at around and you're like, hey, this point A is written all around. But like in a vibrational world, you're already at point B. So it's like, why are you talking about point A? You're like, because that's what I see. Because if I want to go to point B, then I have to walk. I have to undergo that distance. I have to pay. I have to give something to get it. And we're like, okay, but like you're already at point B. because that's where your inner being is. That's the thing. It's like if you're poor over here and you want to be rich, you're already rich. You're vibrationally speaking, you're already rich, but you're talking about being poor because that's what you can see. So guess what, you get more of that, and we're like your inner being is just like, what do you want us to do? We can't do anything because we promised you that we would stay on the high flying frequency. So then you get in the stable attitude. You're like, okay, cool, like, you know, we're stable now. We understand that it's vibrationally done, it's vibrationally ready, so I don't need to do anything because I already did all the work. So now it's like, and when I ask myself why I want it, I realized I just want it for the connection, and I have the connection now. So then what's really good, universe? What do I do now? Because if I already have what I'm really looking for, which is emotion, and I can achieve that now, then why did I come? Because in a vibrational sense, I already have everything that I want. I have everything that I want. So it's like, if I'm at point A and I want to go to point B, but you're telling me vibrationally speaking I'm already at point B, then what's the point of anything? Because I'm already there. And we're like, but there you go, like, now enter in the true meaning of why you came, for the fun, literally for the journey. Like, the journey is the best part, because from point A to point B, we're like, you're right, you are right, because you are, while you're standing here in point A, you're vibrationally in point B. And so when you acknowledge that you're in point B right now vibrationally, you start to go there. You start, all the parts, law of attraction literally takes you there. And then yes, you have to go under, you do undergo this physical journey, because we're not saying that this physical world doesn't exist, because it does. You can measure it. So we're like, but the difference between you going from point A to point B is the difference between, are you in the vortex or are you not in the vortex while you're walking there. There you go. That's actually what it is. And so it's like, okay, like, so it's like, actually, what's the point of this reality? What's the point of being here? Why did I put myself here? And we're like, first of all, you put yourself here. It's because you just wanted the joy of going from point A to point B, and the real joy for you was knowing that you were going to undergo the physical, distance. But while you were undergoing the physical distance, you were going to know vibrationally that you're already at point B, so then the walk would be that much more fun. I hope that analogy didn't get very confusing, because sometimes analogies do that, but who really cares? Because what is basically being said is that vibration, you already have everything, but the joy is seeing all the parts come together. Isn't that crazy? It's like, that's the only way to say it. It's all the you get to witness all the parts coming together, and then when you're in the stable place, guess what happens? No, we're not gonna say sometimes, because literally this is what happens. This is actually what happens. You get bored. You get in a place where you're like, if I already have everything, if what I want is for the feeling, and I have the feeling, then now what? Like, I'm not gonna go to action because I already have it. Like, my YouTube channel, my singing career, my writing career, it's all the way I want it. So it's like, what am I doing now? Like, am I gonna write the book? What's the point? I already wrote this book vibrationally. Or like, basically, now you have balance. Now that you're in vibrational balance, everything is fun now, because now it's just for the fun. Because now these thoughts are going to turn to things. Now you're going to be sitting there at the library with your coffee, and instead of like ruminating about where you are right now, why you don't want to be here, why you just wish so much that you were over there, instead you're just sipping your coffee, enjoying your music, and then you're just staring at space, and you're just enjoying your surroundings. And then all of a sudden you just get your pen and paper, and you get the urge to write the opening chapter of your novel. And before, it would be so hard, because you were just trying to get every word out, and every word had to mean everything, and every word was so important. But now, in this new state of stability, where you're just like, I already have it, so I'm gonna just do it for fun. You're writing just for fun. You're like that kid again. When you first discovered writing, it's like that feeling again. Now you're writing, and it doesn't even matter. You're like, yeah, I gotta edit it, but who really cares? It's really just you and your source in that moment. And that's what life is about. It's just about the joy. And we're like, that's the thing, is that when you know you're at point B, you're not tripping about. And so, because you're at point B, you're not tripping about being at point A anymore. And so this now moment where you are is just perfect, because there's there's literally the most value in feeling good in this now moment. And so all of your attention is just on feeling good right now. And then you get bored, and you start to really, you step on the gas. You start to step on the gas, and you're like, I'm in control of this car. Negative emotion doesn't scare me. I know what to do with negative emotion. So you step on the gas. And what happens when you step on the gas? You start scripting. You start calibrating to what's inside of the vortex. Not because you need to create momentum. That's the thing. You don't need to do anything, but you're doing it for the fun. You're doing it because the vortex is calling you, and you're going in that direction. It's like you're all going in the same direction. So it's like, let's all just link up and have fun and chat. And then you're telling it how it really is. You're telling it how it is in the vortex. You're like, I accomplished so much in my life, and I'm so happy about everything that I accomplished. Like, it was just so nice. And then you talk about your desires, and then it's a different conversation. You're just like, it was fun. Not because you have to have that conversation, but because you're calibrating to what's inside of the vortex that's already queued up for you. You're just calibrating for literally the joy of it. Calibrating is fun. Getting aligned to a frequency is fun. Knowing that the frequency is out there, and then using law of attraction to basically bring it to you, and then enjoying what it brings to you in the moment, which is like the impulses. That's the fun of life. That's the fun of life, because here you are at point A and you want to go to point B, but instead of tripping about point A, instead of being so pissed about being point A, instead of thinking that it's an indictment of who you are, you're like, I'm already at point B. But the physical journey is, the physicalness has already, it's not promoting that idea, it's not representing that, but I'm at point B, I already know that. So the journey is just that much better, because instead of trying to get all the way to the end, you're just enjoying the whole journey because you already know you're there. So it's just for the fun. You're watching all the parts come together and the universe knock itself out for you.